Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of The Weave and the Void. We are getting into episode 2 of season 1, the campaign. I got a new map, actually, I need to share with everybody before we get going here.
Ooh.
Sharing, make sure everybody gets this map on Fantasy Grounds. Let me know that you got that map,
Yay.
everybody.
It's a question mark right now, but it might just need a minute.
Yeah, sometimes it
I
takes a second to load.
also I need to probably add your characters to it. So just as long as it
Oh, yeah.
opened, or do you see it right away? Chris sees it
No.
on her
No.
screen.
It just popped.
We'll just give it a minute.
Oh,
There
yep.
it
It
is.
takes a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
It's not completely finished, but I've at least got some of the interior for the Laughing Badge and Tavern
Oh, how cool.
done. Needs more details. I
Nice.
haven't been able to do anything to the kitchen. There's an upstairs that I have to do for all the rooms. There's a downstairs where the cellar is. So there's a lot of work. There's like another at least 2 more maps that have to be done, and I still have to do a lot of work on the kitchen. So that's a Monday thing, not a tonight thing. But I did work on it
Nice
another couple
place.
hours today. So at the very least, we have a basic map for the tavern here. Um, let's get everybody up to speed, all the viewers up to speed with where we're at. Last week, we picked up where the original campaign had left off, about 6 months after the events of Parthona. Where's my notebook? And there's a Patreon post actually up on the Patreon page for those of you who want to dive into the note-taking component of this, because one of the things we're doing is I have my basic notes for the story, and then we sort of the way I play, the way I DM is I do kind of reactionary to what the players want to do based on what some of the dice rolls are telling us to do, and then I go away from that and say these are the options that the players took, and then I put those down in notes, and then those notes define what's going to be going into the next module, which is going to define the arc for section 1 of season 1, which will probably be about 3 months worth of the campaign, maybe 4 months of the campaign before we have enough to go down into a book. But last week, we met a few new characters, starting with Moira, who is the dwarven cousin of Galoon, and she has been running the Laughing Badger Tavern and Inn in Galoon's absence when she was out in Parthona, and since Galoon has been back, she's been helping run the day-to-day stuff while Galoon has been focused on continuing the brewery. By the way, we never defined where is the brewery, because if you're running the tavern and inn, is the brewery like out back? Like it's probably small scale. Like we never did talk about that, but that's something to think about because we'll want
Mm-hmm.
to add that flavor to things at some point. Um,
True.
and with the political aspects of what's going on with the Church of the Elder Ways, putting checkpoints everywhere and basically harassing and arresting elven mages as often as they could find them. Um, it's put a damper on the trade. So you have been doing what you can, shipping things up and down the coast to Whitecliff, which is a human city up the coast. But the bulk of your income right now is coming from the tavern itself, the tavern and inn. We had met an individual called Lord Oberon, who was looking for his daughter Tila, and apparently she had run off with a sea elf by the name of Leaf, a crewman on the Speckled Albatross, which apparently is no longer in port. So you guys are still trying to find out where that ship went so you can track that person down. Lord Oberon was a little concerned because he doesn't want his daughter to get in any trouble. And, no offense to you having elves in your party, but, he doesn't want her potentially mingling with anybody that's going to get her in trouble with the church. Interestingly enough, this is something we didn't cover last week, and Chris had asked questions today leading up to this campaign, which made me realize that we kind of do need to define this. Um, Oddly enough, the Church of the Elder Ways only seems to have an issue with elven mages that were a part of the Circle of Mages, namely high elves and wood elves, or anybody they associate with the Circle. Sea elves use magic on a day-to-day basis with their vessels for navigation, and yet the church hasn't seemed to bother any of the sea elf ships, which seems like a contradiction when you consider that they are going after any elves who have magic, although when you strip that away, it appears that it might be more political in the sense that they're only going after those they suspect of being associated with the circle of mages. That's food for thought, since they don't appear to be doing anything with sea elves.
That is interesting.
Points of interest. You had come across a place called the Dented Tankard, which is over at the docks. Oh, you know what I have not done? I need to get you all an updated map. Are you gonna... Okay, Chris is grabbing something. I forgot to get this map downloaded, so give me 2 seconds here, because we have an updated version of the Forkland map that I need to get into the Fantasy Grounds, because I added the tavern and another location on the map as well, which you may need for your exploration. So let's export this real quick. All right, what else could we get up to speed on while we were... Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's downloading. At the end of the session also, you can let them out if you want to, Chris. One of those cats is crying. Let's see here. Galoon's cousin, Georgie, showed up with 4 other dwarves, offering her a stake in a mine that used to be run by Uncle Regin. He's raised...
Reagan.
Reagan?
Reagan.
Did I
Yeah.
put Regin? Reagan. Can't read my own handwriting. It's called shorthand of like just jotting down notes as we go. He's already raised 6,000. You had told him if he raised another 3, you'd be in for the final 1%, which would give you 10% of the mine. So there's that. That's going on at the same time. You had gone to bed, woke up this morning. You had come to have breakfast. I believe we left off after breakfast. You had reunited with Bim from the night before. Everybody got back together in the same place. You had breakfast, and now you're at the point where the meeting for the Forkland Conclave is about to take place down in the hidden rooms that are off the cellars down below. Let me get this map updated to Fantasy Grounds real quick.
And we still got to finish our mission for the guy. What was his name again? Did you say that?
Lord
earlier?
Oberon.
Oberon. Yeah.
Okay, so that map is in there now. Are you okay with rolling, Joey?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it
yeah, I saw
worked.
your roll. Joey's not on camera tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because his internet is being poopy, so we won't be seeing Bim in all of his winged glory this evening.
Better to have internet problems tonight than tomorrow.
Yes, or Thursday. Thursday is not
True.
the night to have internet problems,
Yes.
sir. Just be like, nobody's allowed to touch your internet that night. No Netflix, no nothing.
Save
I'm just
all the
gonna
bandwidth.
I'm just gonna turn it off and be like, oh no, it's not working. And then...
Oh no, I don't know why the password changed. Let me grab my other phone real quick. I am not organized tonight, apparently. Anyway, that's what you guys are doing. That's what you got going on. It is time for the Forkland Conclave meeting down below.
I guess I'll
So-
tell Moira to keep things running smoothly up here. Don't let anyone downstairs. I'll kind of tell her what's going on so she can keep it kind of private down there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's and also
would I be attending?
I was
going
going to ask that
Yeah,
question.
so, yeah.
Is
I was gonna say with
Thanius-
everybody anyway. Would it
I've
just be
been
me
doing
and Tom?
bodyguard work, so I think I would probably just stay up here to make sure everything is kosher while they go to the meeting. I would assume, since that's what I've been doing over the past, just kind of helping with.
Are you aware of the meetings? That would be
keeping
the
the
other
peace?
question.
I don't know. I don't think we discussed if I even realized. I've heard about what the church is doing, but I think we had decided that I wasn't getting involved any further than just helping with the tavern.
I thought you and
At this
Skinny were
point.
up to something. Who was
That was
Skinny
Bounty.
working with?
Bounty.
Oh, was it Bounty? Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, I think even it would just be Bounty and I really. I mean, you
Yeah.
only
Yeah,
have
because
maybe-
I'm more so ashamed of what's happening at the church. I
Yeah.
kind of don't want to know more. You know what I'm saying?
And they might have also, just from a logical standpoint, even though you've been within the past 6 months,
Sure.
you still were connected to the church. There might be a logical, like, we trust him, but
compartmentalizing some
yeah,
stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
The question is, I think Bim. I think we said last week that Bim might know what's going on. Chrisma, I mean, more than likely Chrisma, I think would know. I mean, this is up to you guys to discuss whether Chrisma would know, because maybe, I don't know, has she transported people along with
Sure.
goods and helping, or I don't know. That's a you guys thing to decide. But at the very least, Bounty and Skinny um, being involved, and Galoon, because it's her establishment, knowing that it's taking place. So I'm going to leave that up to Bim, you, and Chrisma. Do you want to be involved in the people smuggling or not?
Yes. I said before no, but uh, okay, yes.
Yeah, it's because you
Well,
did say before that you wanted to only deal with
Uh,
legitimate cargo on your ship, and now
Right.
you're like,
yeah.
contraband.
So she's
Well,
doing
Yeah.
it, but she's not happy about having
It's
to do
for
it.
a good cause.
It's for a good
right?
cause, so she's
Yeah.
doing it. But
Yes.
It's not like you're, smuggling drugs across the border.
You're
Yeah.
you're helping this because it's your people, it's the elves.
Yes.
You don't want to have to do it, but you also realize that it's kind of like you have to do it. It's helping save lives.
Yeah, you can
And
get
her-
definitely in trouble, but yeah, go ahead.
And her trade rooms would be a good source of information too, because
Mhm.
she goes to all the different ports and stuff like that. So
Okay,
And then I'm sure that I heard Bounty and Skinny mention it.
sure.
I'm just gonna ask. I'm just gonna lean over to Bounty and be like, "Hey, Bounty, didn't you have some meeting today?"
Yes, yes,
I-
yes, I do.
Would it be possible for me to attend? My schedule is not too busy, and I would just love to hang out.
well, there's no drinking involved, so I'm just saying.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's a
It's
dry
okay.
meeting.
You know,
It's a
good
dry
for
meeting.
business that week.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
It involves the Fae, so sure.
Perfect. Fantastic.
And the
And
circle,
moving through the woods and stuff like that. As a hunter, you
Mhm.
would
right?
be able to help.
And
Along with that.
because the circle of mages have not the circle of mages, the conclave of Forkland has always accepted all the different kinds of people. They would have no problem. So yes.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, you four, five, I guess. Thamius would stay up top. Would anybody else be staying up top, or only Thamius?
I can stay with Thamius.
Okay,
I'll
so
just keep it running.
okay, so Thamius and Galoon are up top. Bim, Bounty, Chrisma, and Skinny are going to go back into the kitchen, down to the trapdoor there. You're going to go down through the trapdoor into the cellar. Now, once you're in the cellar, there's no one down there when you go. And the trick here is behind one of the big old wine casks. There's a little foot thing that you can nudge, and a section of the wall, a stone wall, kind of grinds to the side and allows you to open up this stone door, and you go into these tunnels, and you follow the tunnels down for about 5 minutes, down through like an old um, it's like sea caves, basically. You can hear the waves off somewhere in the distance. You can smell the sea air coming in off of the harbor. And somewhere off down in here, we can have there be some underground docks or something, like a small dock for, like, not like a ship, but like for a small little a rowing vessel or something. So there's an underground dock area down in here. but mostly it's just for old smugglers who want to get off of their big ships and get off in a rowboat and row their way to shore and get off and go underneath this little cave where they can offload their little 3 sacks of plunder, that type of thing. So you go down these tunnels, the smell of the salt, you can hear the waves in the distance, and you eventually make your way into this chamber where waiting for you are some characters. Bounty's going to know who this person is. Einfar, who is the current and only remaining member of the Forkland Conclave leadership. He is a half elf, a very old half elf. Like visually, he's probably mid 60s, early 70s. He's been around a while. And then with him is Daria, a halfling mage who was a member of the Conclave, and her apprentice, Marta, who is a dwarf. Also a familiar face to you is Declan, who is the owner and operator of Declan's Smithy. He's a half dwarf who has been helping smuggle people. He's actually housed a couple of people. He's got these caverns also connect over by where his place is. Being a dwarf, he knew, or at least being partial dwarf, he knew of these tunnels from before, and you can connect between his place and this place through the tunnels. And in attendance are a very ragged and malnourished pair of wood elves that you've never seen before. The male is sitting on a chair, bent over with his arm in a cast. And the female has a patch over her left eye, and like the left side of her face has been like all the hair. She's been burned, like it's just all burned. Who knows from what, fire, magic, or something? But she's got a patch over her eye, and her left ear is just all melted, and it doesn't look good. It's healed over at this point, but yeah, they're both looking very worse for wear. That's what you see when you enter the room. Einfar is going to look up as you approach. Were you followed?
No,
As
we
far
came
as we
straight
could
down.
tell, no.
By a
Yeah.
halfling. Or not a halfling, a brownie.
Hello, I'm Far. How are you doing?
I've seen better days.
Indeed.
Who's this one with you right here? And he's going to point at Bim.
He is my friend. He's been through a lot with us already. He's one to be trusted. Good member to have.
He's trustworthy, you say? Okay, fair enough. He's going to go back to what he was doing on the table. He appears to be preparing some poultices and some medicine for the 2 elves who are seated over in the corner.
Are we waiting for anyone else, or is this everyone for today?
Einfar's going to look up. Just us. Declan, you can get them up to speed while I finish this here. Declan's going to turn to you guys. Right, so these 2 here, I've had them down for the last couple of days, but we need to get them moved as quickly as possible. I've had them there for 2 days, and unfortunately the church has been sniffing around. They've come by 4 times today so far, over the middle of the night, doing patrols around my building, and that's not normal. So better safe than sorry, so I decided to get these folks moved. We need to find a place for them immediately.
Here in Forkland or somewhere else?
Unless you've got a vessel ready to go right now, it's gonna have to be somewhere here in town. I don't know
Okay.
if Galoon's got some rooms available right now. If we can keep them down here in the cellars, but we've got to keep them somewhere safe for the next, or at least for the little bit until I could figure out why exactly they're sniffing around my forge.
Okay. I meant like, some of our many places here in Forkland now, we have like safe houses.
There are other safe houses, but his was the one that was being used. Now Marta's
Oh,
going to
okay.
step in and say, well, unfortunately, we've got the last two places that we just used within the last 2 days, last 2 weeks, sorry, and we can't risk putting people in them again so soon.
Okay.
We could keep them down here. I don't know, Chrisma. When was the last time that you sailed? When was the last time you took someone on your ship? So this is when we need to decide. You came back. I'm gonna roll a die here. Actually, I'll have you roll this, Chris. Go to Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, 'cause 6 months have gone by,
Right, but her
and we
ship's
don't.
only been sailing for 3 months. So
3 months.
Right.
the question here is, when was the last time you smuggled someone on your ship? Because if it's been too recent, it's gonna be too risky to take her to your ship, and she's gonna need to stay here in the tavern. So roll a 1d6, the six-sided die. And this is the one time I'm going to say it's actually not a low number is not good for you because you actually want a higher number. And that will represent how many weeks was since the last time you took a shipment of people. Yep,
This. Yeah.
4
Not
weeks.
bad.
That's
Not
not
bad.
bad. That's not bad. That's not too risky. So the question is going to be, are there enough goods to ship to Whitecliff to mask a contraband run of 2 people? So this will be a question that we're gonna do some dice roll when we get upstairs because it's gonna have to. Does Galoon have enough stuff to combine with? Does Chris have a contract that she can get from the Fuwar ship? And that'll mean going to the dockmaster, which you got to go to anyway, because you're hunting for information about the other thing. So
Yeah.
this will tie into all of that. It'll be some dice rolls tonight to see where exactly these two are gonna go.
And
All
if
right,
Declan has stuff to move to.
what's that?
If Declan has stuff to move to.
Correct.
that could be part
So in
of
the
it, so.
meantime,
Okay.
yeah, the other safe houses have been too frequently used. It's been 4 weeks since Christmas last shipment, so theoretically it would be okay if there's other stuff we could do to make a shipment with these 2 people to get them out of town. In the meantime, this is going to be the safest place for them is going to be down here, and it's not the best accommodations, but they can be safe down here in the caverns. Um,
I
for the
think the
meantime.
shipping company, if it's been 4 weeks, we could probably find something to ship with a whole shipping company of things that they probably move once a month at least.
More than likely, but they freelance a lot of different stuff, so we just have to check back with them because that's over by the. This is one of the things added to the map, which we'll get to the city map here in a little bit. We added the Dented Cauldron, and then I put a tag over the Fuwar Trading Company because it's right up by the Dockmaster. So that would be needing to check in with them and to see if there's even anything available. Declan's going to finish making his bandages. He's going to turn around and he's going to approach the female elf. Linda, my dear, if you would just give me a moment. And he's going to very carefully pull back the bandages she's got over her eye, and it's her eye is ruined, but it's basically this is kind of healed over, but the eye itself is still a ruined mess, and it's still not fresh, but it's not healed all the way. So he's applying a new poultice to her eye, and she cries out a little bit and like winces like as he does it. And Tyler, even though his one arm's in a brace, he's gonna reach over and hug her. This other elf, haven't introduced, I gave his name away already. But the other elf is gonna reach over and embrace her. It's gonna be all right, my dear. It's gonna be all right. And Marta, the apprentice, is going to approach and say, "Let me have a look at that arm, Tally. Let me have a look at that." And he's, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just, just yeah. When was the last time you changed the dressing on this? Oh, you were the one who changed it 2 days ago. I'll be fine." So they're obviously pretty beat up. Um, and they're being attended to here for the moment.
Okay.
Do I
Is
know
there-
Dar? Do I know Daria?
You would have known her in passing.
Do I know what kind of mage she is?
It's a good question. Let me roll some dice and see. What kind of mage is she? Let's see. She's an earth mage with. She was an earth mage, and then she took off and decided to become a hedge wizard. She previously
Okay.
had worked with, if you remember correctly, she had previously worked with, it might have been a druid somewhere north of here for a couple of years. So you're familiar with, you know her, but you're not familiar with her because she wasn't in Forkland all the time.
Okay.
And this apprentice that she has, this Marta, I mean, this is a little dwarven girl that can't be more than 50 years of age. She's very young. Declan looks like he's middle-aged. He's a half-dwarf. A little taller than a normal dwarf. Not quite as stout.
And he's a smithy.
He owns a smithy over near the town center.
Nice. You had a thought, Skinny?
I was just going to ask if there was has there been any other news from down south? Any more details about what's going on down there, or like, is it something that we should be checking out? Are we getting enough of an updates from
Einfern's
the camp?
gonna shake his head. I've not heard anything for the last 3 weeks. So the last I heard, they had liberated a couple of camps down by the river, but that who knows what's happened in the weeks since then, and who knows how long it took that information to reach us in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's what, a good 6 months we determined to get down there or something like
Well, it's not 6 months to get down there, but it would be several weeks to travel that distance.
that. Okay. Right. All right. Fair enough.
So I'm far. I was just wondering, is there any progress in trying to restore our Forkland Conclave?
Progress. What with all the mages that we've lost and everyone scattering to the winds, it's lucky that we have folks like Daria who've returned back into the fold. Talon and Linder here had been out on a contract, and they were on the way back several weeks ago, and apparently got caught in one of the questionings at a local tavern in a village somewhere west of here, and were tortured before they were liberated and managed to make their way here and escape. Taller's gonna nod his head. The last 2 weeks we've been on the run. It's been chaos. Just trying to get here as quickly as he could. We had no idea what would happen when we arrived at the city, and then as soon as we got here, we realized it had been taken over by the church, just like the villages have been. We made our way as quick as we could to the Conclave, and we found the building abandoned. And that's when we managed to remember that Declan here had connections with the Conclave. We found him out, and he let us know of the situation and hid us in his basement.
So the two wood elves, I'm assuming, are mages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, then. So, Chrisma, would you know about how long before we'll be able to sail? Or I guess we have to find out the other stuff from
Yeah.
about the shipments, right? Okay.
And yeah, we have to find out where the speckled albatross is too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So for these guys, the next step is to find out from the shipping company if they have anything to move, or if Galoon has things to move, so we'll know when we can leave with them.
And we should ask Loon if it's okay that these two people will be here for a couple of days.
Yeah, I guess. Fair enough. Yeah, we should make sure because we'll need to feed them and that kind of
Right.
stuff. Okay.
All right. So, any other business that we need to attend to, Imfar?
Not at the moment, not unless you know of any other members of the Conclave that you've come in contact with. It's been about 2 weeks since the last time I heard news of anyone left over. I think the church is either captured or ran to ground the rest of them, and we've already known that um, Terror and Gerald managed to escape, but I have no idea of their whereabouts now.
I asked the two wood elves. What are your names?
I'm Tyler, and this is my wife, Lindir.
It's good to meet you. We'll do everything we can to get you to safety. We're not sure where that'll be just yet, but at least it'll be out of the city and somewhere that hopefully you can find refuge until you can move on to where you want to
I
be.
appreciate it. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm
And
sure.
are
I can
you
imagine.
from here or somewhere else?
Oh, they're not. No, no, we're not. They're not from Forkland. They're wood elves, so they were from um, southeast. They were part of the Conclave, um, but they're not from here. They're not from Forkland.
Okay.
They were out on a
Have
contract working in the outskirts around, sort of working not quite as hedge mages, but the Forkland Conclave sends out its envoys into the surrounding districts and villages and surrounding countryside to help with things like childbirths and crops that need, that have issues with plague and insect infestations and things of that nature. So they were working the territory around Forkland when the church came in and caught them up in a sweep of one of the local villages, and they were staying at one of the taverns, and they got picked up and then tortured, and then they managed to escape.
Okay. Well, we'll try to get things rolling as quickly as we can. We have a couple of things to deal with, and we'll try to wrap them up together, I guess, as best as we can.
All right. Linder gives you a very weak smile, mutters something under her breath, and Tyler nods his head and says, "Yes, thank you very much." Einfar is going to turn to you. Yes, we'll let them get their rest for now. In the meantime, if you could let Galoon know to send down some food, would be muchly appreciated.
Okay, we'll do.
Nice meeting
Okay.
you.
Okay. All right, let's see here. All right. Nothing wayward happened while this was going on. And the upstairs, it was a calm, normal morning. Breakfast has been served and finished. It's now mid-morning now, around 10 a.m. The rest of you can come up as you come up through the trapdoor and back into the room. There's maybe half a dozen clients throughout the tavern. Mostly just people sitting around, drinking coffee and relaxing post breakfast. Um, that's where you enter into the scene from there.
Do I see Galoon?
I'd probably be either in the kitchen or behind the bar, helping serve people and cleaning up.
I'll go over to Galoon just to, quietly tell her I need to tell you something private. If it's in the
Right.
kitchen, then it would
We'll
be.
go. We'll go to the room, the meeting room. I'll close the doors, sir.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we've finished our meeting. There's two wood elves that look pretty rough, and
Mm.
they couldn't be in their regular safe house, so they got moved here, kind of emergency, and they are requesting to be able to stay here for a couple of days, and they could maybe send down some breakfast to them. That would be helpful. And yeah, we have to figure out if you have a shipment or not that needs to leave anytime soon that we can use to do our special deliveries. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Have you spoken to Chrisma yet?
I have not.
Okay, so we don't know if there'll be a couple days or longer.
Wait, wasn't Chrisma with you down in the basement?
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Oh, okay.
You were.
So Chrisma is
Fell on my
shipping
head.
them out in a couple days if we can find a shipment to send with her. I know it's been a month since I've last sent with her. I'm sure we could get some things together to
Has
get them
has
out in a couple
Bim
days.
gotten you any nice rare meats that you can ship out with your ales?
I don't
don't
know
know.
about
Has
rare
he?
meats.
Rare
Yeah.
skins, perhaps. Make a roll for
Rare
that.
skins.
Make a
yeah.
roll for that, Bim.
What am
Roll
I?
D6.
Like a 6?
Yeah, roll a
Okay.
D6. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you've got some. Yep,
Oh,
he's got.
Looky
nice.
there. Looky there.
He's got.
Awesome.
There's a spotted Bambi hide, and a couple of albino piglets.
Badgers. Oh, okay, good.
Oh, yeah, we could do some albino
No
badgers. Yeah.
Oh, no.
no.
Those badgers aren't laughing.
Yeah.
Well, Moira's been collecting clothing from our different Fae friends around the city. So was it a man and woman?
Yes, one man, one woman.
Okay, I'll get them some clothes and bring down some food and water and ale.
And maybe
We'll
a
get them.
clean eye patch.
Do they need bandages and things?
That wouldn't hurt. Yes.
All right, I'll bring that stuff down. I'll start gathering things with Moira.
All right, Galoon, roll a 6-sided die. Let's see if you have any actual brews to send. Ooh, that's Brock. That's good enough though. No, you don't. You've sold your brews locally, and what leftovers you have, you've been serving here, but you don't have enough excess to actually ship north at the moment. But we do have some rare hides that could go, so we need to go see if there's anything from the Fuar Trading Company.
Has
Okay.
Skinny pilfered anything good that he wants to get out of the city?
I don't know that Skinny's had time to do any pilfering.
Mm.
Would
Or are
Declan
you even that type of a thief? Because technically, your work before was more espionage as opposed to, I'm a rob the houses kind of guy.
That we're aware of, anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Any information he needs to get shipped out?
Sorry, I forgot that. Yeah, more of a spy type thing.
That's a good question.
Yeah, but information doesn't help us hide anybody is the problem. Like the real goal.
Yeah,
is
we kind of
getting us
need
to hide.
legitimate
Mhm.
goods to kind of
Mask.
pack the ship with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll have to speak down to at the docks, maybe with the Fuar.
Yeah, when we go
folks.
down there to.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Declan? He might have something. I should have asked him.
He
Is
didn't
still
mention
around?
anything. Yeah.
No.
And who's across the street from me? My friend there.
I'm about to open up the map for y'all right now for the because I got the updated map.
Oh, you're talking about the stable people.
The stable, yeah.
Oh.
Caroline.
I was about to say, I don't think they got goods to ship.
Oh, you never know. Maybe they're
Could be
expanding.
manure. Manure is good. Sells well.
All right,
Yeah,
new map,
sure.
new map incoming.
No, we were talking about the other place that was across the road.
Everybody should have
I don't have any dealings with Edgar. He's sleazy.
You might be branching out.
All right, new map just got shared with everybody.
Okay. Loading. Please wait.
Feral lines.
Yeah, she's. I don't know. She could have colts or something. She wants to. Maybe tack. Fancy tack.
Nothing at the moment, no.
Hmm. Who else do we know? Does Declan have anything? Because he's a smithy.
He didn't mention anything when you were down below.
Yeah, likely the best bet will be the shipping company. Will be the next best.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have contracts
What
with
about-
multiple people.
What if we contact our Lord Oberon, and if we find his daughter and convince him that we've got to make some legitimate shipping stuff in order to get his daughter's safety?
Well,
That's
we
a
think
good
her,
plan. Yeah.
we think the daughter's already shipped out.
Well, we might have
Right.
to follow her to
But-
somewhere.
Well, and
Find
he
out where the
doesn't
boat
know
went.
that. He doesn't know that, so.
Get some
well-
kind of papers from him that give us passage.
Tanner Geralt down the way might have some more furs. He's been eyeing these rare items that I have. He might have some furs he can send out.
All right, where are you going from here?
Probably the docks, right?
Check the
Yeah.
dockmaster.
For the
Solves a
information.
couple issues.
Yeah, you need
All right.
the
I'll
dock.
be joining you guys for that.
The
Yeah, we should
dockmaster
all go.
the dockmaster is to see about any information of the speckled albatross, and then there's also the dented. Hang on, I gotta remember. It's on the map now.
The Dented Cauldron.
The Dented Cauldron is a tavern that was mentioned as being a place where the sailors from that spotted albatross had slept and partaken of brews, and then the Freeware Trading Company is just north of there.
I thought it was a dented tanker.
It's on the map. Cauldron.
Now you're making me question my notes, and it was the dented tankard in my notes, and I put it as the
Oh,
dented
Aha.
cauldron.
look at
on
you
the-
go.
Dang, Danny.
I literally had to go back and I was like, wait, what do my notes say? And they say dented tankard, but I put it as the dented
I gotta get
cauldron.
a new map.
So you know
The
what?
map maker made this one.
Hashtag edits.
Well, now it's the cauldron.
It's the tank, or it's the dented previously known as the.
It's been a name change, a rebrand.
Yeah. We went with the. They didn't like the new brand. We went to the classic.
Classic.
All right.
Cauldron turned into a giant's tankard. Is that the idea?
It'll take a
Something
couple
like
hours to
that.
get over to the dockmaster, so you gotta get over there around noon. Let's go ahead and do a couple of rolls here. Man, can you guys see the GM rolls? I don't remember if I have them turned on or not.
No.
No,
I think you have it turned on
Okay.
to roll ones mostly.
Yeah.
we know that you're rolling, right? I think we get.
I
that.
can.
It's
I
a
can see
shadow.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
never
guys,
mind. It does show me. Straight
Yeah.
something. My bad.
you guys, I've been rolling ones and twos for you like the whole night. You've gotten so lucky with. This is the exact opposite of what happened when we were in Parthona and where I was rolling
Finally.
Oh,
like
yeah.
sixes every single encounter.
Yeah,
So
crit hits every freaking turn too.
you have an uneventful trip over to the dockmaster's building. When you arrive, there's a bit of a line. You got to wait about 45 minutes to get in, but once you do, it is a hot interior. There is a portly fellow sitting behind a desk, a couple of aides attending him. He's got a big wooden desk, about 8 feet wide and about 5 feet deep. It's just papers on top of it, lots of different stamps. He's got different files, different folders, and a system that he appears to know intimately. And he's shuffling through paperwork. As you enter your turn in line, you approach his desk. He looks up. Yeah, what can I do for you?
You'd have Thamius and Skinny.
Who's got the highest
Mhm.
charisma?
I've got a pretty high charisma. What's yours? Mine is.
I got 6, a -2 on all my throws.
I have 8.
I have +4. 15
You're-
+4.
You're our designated
So,
charmer.
I've got -2. I could give it a wing though.
Oh my
Why
god.
does Ben the slick talking?
And
All right,
Skinny's probably got skills to get info too, so.
All right. We are looking for hopefully for some records for a ship that we believe has left out. If we could get any records on when it left or when it's to be returning.
And under whose authority am I supposedly handing you these records?
Very high authority. Unfortunately, they've wished to remain silent and not be have their name thrown around town.
Well, show me proof of this authority, please, sir.
Did he give us some kind of something? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't.
No.
Well, I mean, what would it cost? What would it take to get the information without any without any paperwork?
Oh. Now you're talking about a very expensive venture, sir.
Hmm?
Ooh.
I'm listening.
He's gonna eye you up and down, narrow his eyes, kind of lean back, whisper something to one of his aides. The aide's gonna go to the front door, make sure the next person in line is gonna be. This will be just a moment, Clay. They're gonna close the door behind him, so you guys are inside a closed space now. He's gonna lean back in his chair. As you can see, I'm a man of appetite. I do like to indulge myself from time to time. I couldn't possibly part with private information for anything less than 1,000 gold.
Sheesh.
Hmm.
Okay, what about public information like the ship leaving the dock?
You're
Is there any public information? Oh, I'm asking him that. Is there any?
Oh,
is
you're
there any
asking
public...
him?
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm
That's
sure.
a bit steep.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you had found private information, you wouldn't have come to me in the first place. Public information, sorry, not private. If you had come across public information, you wouldn't be here.
So, like, what are we looking at, like, for an office? Like, is this like the front room and there's records in the back? Is all the stuff here? Is it just one room?
It's it's like a front desk type scenario. It's a pretty big space. There's
Okay.
a door behind him. He's got his aides with him. That door goes somewhere back behind him, into another space behind. No, you can't really get a glimpse of what's back there.
Okay. And this is the dockmasters, right? So, like, is there like a large book in front of him? I'm
Oh yeah,
assuming,
there's
like,
multiple
people
books
signing
and
in, coming in and out. Okay.
yeah.
So, like the
I'd like to.
manifest or the logs.
Couple
I'd like to
guards, just
tell.
couple guards out front. The guy's inside. 2 guys with him. Yeah.
I'd like to tell them we're just a mercenary group that's been hired out, but the person that we're trying to help, possibly in danger, and the daughter of a high-ranking church member. I don't think
Sounds
you would want
even
any
more
trouble.
expensive.
Well, I think you personally wouldn't want me to go back to who we're working for and let them know that you were being uncooperative with their loved one on the line.
Roll a persuasion because this guy he's only gives a shit about coins, so you need to
Okay.
yeah, let's roll a
All right.
persuasion here.
Oh, it was
It was
close.
almost
20
a
was
20. I
a
saw the
Yeah.
hover. No, he's not going to budge. He's just shaking his head, kind of smirking at you. He's like, any information you need on a ship, you can find anywhere out with the dock workers if they're willing to talk to you. But any private information, the only way you're going to get that is by paying a fee. Unless you happen to be someone who's a business associate of said vessel, that information is private.
All right, guys. I don't think we're going to get anything out of this guy.
So knowing when ships come and go, that's a private thing.
You're welcome to ask around the docks if you would like to find information about ships' schedules.
Yeah, I would say without any sort of authority, I wouldn't think that would be public. Makes sense.
But if I want like a passage on a ship and
Yeah.
I need to know if it's coming next week to make plans, wouldn't
Well, that
A
would be
dock
a
master?
passenger.
That's a
This is not
passenger thing.
This is not a passenger
Yeah,
ship.
you'd be dealing directly with the captain of a vessel if you were wanting to book passage.
Because you got to
This
figure back in those days, like thievery and piracy was probably, I would assume, in this world, probably a big deal. And if anybody could just come up and find out when and where every company was shipping out, they could use it to their advantage.
This guy mostly is here to deal with the taxation of imports and exports and so on and so forth. So it's the registry of goods and the vessels that are shipping said goods, and does everybody have the proper paperwork to be shipping those goods? And this is the guy who's putting stamps on everything and etc. And there are dozens of ships coming in and out on a daily basis.
All right, before we, so we're in a separate room than where we walked in, though, right?
No,
'Cause he
you
shut a
walked
door.
in, it's this room with the big desk, and then there's a room behind him.
All right. I'd like to lean over to Skinny and just say, take a look around. Do you see anything, anywhere you could possibly hole up?
Yeah, I think
No,
it's
there's
too
nowhere
much
he's
going on right now.
yeah, it's a big there's a line of people out front. It's
Yeah.
like a 20-foot ride by 20-foot ride room. There's nowhere that he can squeeze away.
Okay.
At least not in
Now,
broad daylight.
so it would look like the back room would be like records or something. Like it would be
If
storage
you
for records, something like that.
yeah, you get a
That
glimpse through the
size,
door, it's boxes and
shelves.
shelves and a couple more desks, and there's a stairwell back in the very back corner that goes up top, but doesn't that's what you see through the quick glimpse of the door.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay.
He really wants 1,000 gold to just like I thought one gold piece was considered quite a bit of cash. 5 or 10 would be a lot.
Yeah, he wants a lot.
Like our whole group reward isn't even 1,000 gold.
Nope. That's just not an option.
All right. Well, thanks for nothing.
You gonna
Dock
go out
master.
and talk to the
I'm
to the other guys?
Yeah, I think we should just head out to the docks, and it's day now. So
we had
see if
more
there's any
information
workers.
from a little, your little flask of ale that you shared with the
Yeah,
people.
that worked way better.
Yeah.
we could try fire. I mean, fire's always a good option.
Yeah.
Flaming
True.
toothpicks.
You also have the Dented Cauldron, don't forget. You were given a lead for the Dented
True.
Cauldron as well.
What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to head to the docks, see if we find anything, or go straight for the tavern, or for the?
Well, the sailors are in the tavern, so
True.
yeah.
Just, I just want to take a look around the building too before we go. Like, is there windows into the back room? Is there another door back there?
There's no windows into the back room, no door either. There's
Okay.
there's a balcony up on the back side above that room, and there was a stairwell going down.
Right.
But there's no doorway directly onto the back.
Okay, where is this? And the back would face
Northeast.
the cauldron or the
No,
the
the
long
opposite
side
direction.
northeast. The long side northeast. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like buildings
Actually, it's
just
not
behind them.
northeast. It's actually like just due east. But yes, orientation is away
Oh, wait,
from the
no.
Dented Cauldron.
Okay, straight away. That's the
Yeah,
back,
this
so it's
map is
straight up.
so messed up
Okay.
because the way that they do the assets in Incarnate, I can't do a north, south, east, west layout. So actually, the harbor is to the due. It's directly east, and like the Dockmaster, like the Dented Cauldron, is actually west of the Dockmaster, and north would be northwest.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
No, it's,
So
it's
anyway,
just it's like it's tilted.
It's tilted,
Basically.
basically. Yeah.
Okay.
okay. So the back is facing the trading company, though.
Yeah.
That's the point. Where that balcony is. I mean.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And yeah, okay. So there'd be too many people going around.
Right now, yeah, it's daytime. You've got city
Yeah, for
watch.
sure.
There's guards occasionally patrolling by, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're outside. We could maybe think of something at night to figure it out. There was a lot less traffic and only a couple of guards patrolling. But for now, there's really no way into that back room. And the fact is, too, it's probably got the information we want on his desk anyway. So
Yeah. Well, let's head to the Dented Cauldron that you'd heard about, Guinea, and find out what we can find out there.
A fine establishment. Well, not quite as good as the Badger, but or the Beaver or whatever.
And Chris would probably be very helpful inside with the
Yes.
sailors.
Well, at least with some of the sailors. Possibly. We'll see if
Mhm.
there's any. They'll have more respect for her than they probably will for any of you because she's a ship
Mhm.
captain. Whether or not she's recognized as a ship captain is another story entirely. That's going to just depend on dice rolls. But she'll at least know the lingo. Let me explain this. Just, do you understand, Chris, or do you want me to explain in Spanish? There's
So we are going to go to the
Dented Cauldron.
Dented Cauldron
It's a
now.
tavern, yes.
It's the
And this
tavern.
is where
Yes.
sailors go to like get drunk, and
Drunk with
it's a
David.
cantina.
Yeah.
You're a ship captain, so you know, like,
But they know me.
no, that's we're gonna roll dice to see does anyone recognize you. But the benefit here is you are a ship captain, so you know like the language of the sailors, like how do they, like in Spanish we say "paca" instead of "por
Yeah.
acá." They
Yeah.
talk like that. Like you would know how sailors talk because you're a ship captain. And on your crew, you've got some elves, but you also have some half elves and some humans. So you know how to talk to people. And we will also roll dice to see, do you recognize anyone? Does anyone recognize you? Okay?
Okay.
All right. You enter the Dented Cauldron. It's about 1 p.m. at this point. It is the lunch hour. The place is pretty busy. It's loud, it's raucous, it smells like fish stew and cheap ale. The air is thick with really poor quality pipe weed, and there's probably 30 people around the room in the interior. Mostly people are congregating in groups of 3 to 5 at various tables. We got a whole bunch of people standing at the bar. Um, there's no open tables at the moment. It's standing room only at this point. There's half a dozen tavern wenches working their way through the crowd. That's what you see when you go in. Chrisma, roll.
I'd like to make a real
Mhm.
quick. Sorry, when we first walk in, I would like to make a slight joke at Galoon and be like, "Should have built your tavern a little closer to the harbor." It looks like.
They wouldn't be able to afford my finer ale.
Agreed.
Oh,
Agreed.
Do I know this barkeep? Like, would we know each other
You know of
as?
them, but you don't know them. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, Bob the Builder owns that place.
Right.
But it's a different. It's all the way over on the other side of town, 2 hours away. Matter of fact, let me roll a die here. Oh, good. That's in favor of me. You tried to set up a relationship with him about 6 months ago to sell him some of your ale, but you vaguely remember that, and he didn't want anything to do with it. He was like,
Mhm.
they're not going to buy it. It's sailors. They just want horse piss. They don't need that highfalutin. They're happy with Coors Light. They don't need those IPAs.
So they never have the captains of ships come in here.
Maybe, but um, the captains that come in here aren't necessarily looking for high quality ale. And if they
Mm.
are, the ship captains are possibly going to be attending and looking for services at the pristine Paramore um, when they're in town.
So
Sea
you might get some of
captains.
their
So
business
I get
after.
their business. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might get the occasional sea captain in, but mostly they're going to be at the Paramore for the other delights that are offered at that establishment.
Mhm.
Companionship, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you know of them. You maybe tried to do a business arrangement 6 months ago, and he didn't want anything to do with it. So yeah. Chris, roll a 6 to
And we
see.
lost Joey.
Oh, did we lose him
Mhm.
completely?
Yeah.
Screwed up my scene.
Yeah. Don't.
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm going to roll shield.
Yeah, just hold on a minute, Chris, because we did lose
Yeah.
Joey. His internet was being poopy, so
And when he comes back in, it'll mess it up again. So
yeah, let me I could fix this really quick just for a temporary. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm gonna put a new thingy here.
OBS and Discord need to hook up for some integration.
mm-hmm.
There we go. We can just do that for now until Joey gets back.
There we go.
Mm.
That's a good fix for now.
That was the quick fix. All right. Well, until he gets back, Chris rolled a 3. Yeah, he just got disconnected from Fantasy Grounds. So I would say his internet probably just completely pooped out right now. Chris rolled a 3. Maybe recognizes a couple of faces, but nobody that you don't know anyone here. Maybe you've seen that person, maybe you've seen that person, but you don't actually. No one you recognize is in this place.
Okay.
Does anyone recognize her?
Nope. Not at least no one's jumping out and going, Chrisma, Captain
Right.
Chris, how are
Yeah.
you?
Jack Sparrow.
Well, let's kind of try to get up to the bar and at least get a drink and maybe watch the crowd and.
Okay. So the objective here, Chris, is for you to start asking, however you want to do this. Go up to the bar, ask someone, hey, sailor, you ever heard of the speckled albatross?
So first, we need to drink beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we ever find out what the speckled albatross does?
Nope.
Like, did
No one-
Oberon
Yeah,
ever
we
tell
don't.
us?
Yeah, we
No
don't know
info.
nothing.
Tell us. Okay.
Oh,
Hey.
Yeah.
Yay!
he might have reconnected to Discord at least. I don't see him. He hasn't reconnected to Fantasy Grounds yet.
If he can even talk, he can roll. He can just role play, and we can roll for him.
Yeah, sorry, I don't. My computer froze, like completely hardware malfunction of some kind.
Well, at least it wasn't the internet.
What did you drop the other day?
Yeah, the modem. You dropped the router. Well, the kids dropped
Yeah,
the router. Yeah.
That was around. Yeah.
Well, while you were reconnecting, I'm gonna take that moment to take a quick bio while you're reconnecting to Fantasy Grounds. I'll be right back.
No.
What do you think, Chris? How are you feeling like you want to question these guys?
This guy, I don't know. Maybe.
Hmm.
How?
I wonder if we'd be able to recognize maybe a better looking crew, maybe that has a bit more money, maybe buy them around and start talking to them. Like you can start talking to them in sailor ease.
Sailorese.
I don't know. Maybe find out.
I get the sneaking suspicion by looking around this crowd. This may come down to force. I have a feeling.
I was thinking too, working through the bartender. I mean, he might know more. About
The
Yeah.
bartender, I
the ship.
think, yeah, might
That's
know.
why I was
We could-
asking if I knew him, but
Yeah, any of us could probably do that. It'd probably be better for Christmas to work the crowd.
Yeah.
And then one of us could go talk to the bartender because he's not a sailor. You know what I mean?
Right.
He serves sailors all day. He's probably sick of them.
You got
Well, there-
photobomb.
Eh,
Did you see that crazy bearded guy running behind Chrisma?
Christmas, did you know there was some crazy guy behind you a second ago?
We went for a walk tonight.
I think it was Gandalf.
The budget Gandalf.
Budget Gandalf.
We went for a walk tonight, and I am a known element in this town because where we live, and it's especially the kids are like a bearded white dude walking around. It's just like it's like a polar bear, you know. They just are like it's quite amusing. It makes you feel. I mean, I'm pretty good about not being very self-conscious. You know, I'm not embarrassed about anything really, but it does make you feel weird when people stare like that because it's like the oh my god, what is that stare? It's it's not a polite stare. It's a holy what we've never seen anything like this before. What is it?
So you're saying you're
Poke it.
infamous.
Yeah.
That's better than famous. You're infamous.
All right, looks like Joey got connected, so I should be able to drop this and we go back to that. You good, Joey?
I think so.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, Chrisma, you went up to the bar. Are you buying drinks for anyone, or are you just going to start asking questions?
I'm going to buy for me.
Okay, you're going to buy a drink for yourself. Okay.
Yes. Yes, and then I need to start asking.
Okay. So go ahead. You pretend, and I'll be the drunken sailors next to you. This is the first time Chris has ever done any role playing, so we're putting her on the spot. So you're looking for this. You're looking for a ship called the Speckled Albatross.
Yes, I am. But
But if you find another sea elf, you can do it in
mm,
Elven,
I
and Ren can do
think
subtitles.
maybe I need to
That's true.
find a
Oh, there's no
table. But
tables.
but only walk close to the table where there are maybe five.
Why? ¿Dónde estás
Oh,
ahorita? Where you're at right now in
in
the
the bar.
there's like one person on either side of you. It's
Okay.
many people at the bar and then many people at the tables. It's very full. So
Okay.
you
So
could start with the people at the bar.
okay. So I need to ask the man next to me, and I need to say, hi, friend. Um, I am here. This is my first time here, and I am. I want to know if you can help me. Um, I am. I want to ask you if you have seen the speckled albatross.
Albatross.
Speckled
Albatross, albatross.
albatross.
Hey, Fred! You ever heard of this speckled albatross? Speckled albatross? Was that like that bird thing, eh? Yeah, it's like that bird thing. Yeah. Oh, speckled bird thing, speckled albatross. Oh. Oi, Andy. Oi. You ever heard of the speckled albatross? Oh, wasn't that ship that's got the crazy sea elf guy with the one-eyed scar on his face? Yeah.
Hmm.
So maybe es un rumor
Mhm.
que ellos conocen un
This.
barco con ese nombre y la capitana es una persona que tiene un ojo y una cicatriz. Un elfo
What?
de mar con ojo de cicatriz.
Cicatriz.
So a one-eyed ship captain. Maybe it's a rumor. They're not confirming it. They're just, oh, isn't that the ship with the one-eyed freak that?
Okay. So,
Maybe.
but they are drunk.
Exactly. That's the thing. These are drunk
Yeah.
sailors.
Buy him some
So maybe
booze.
I. Okay.
See if you can
So
get more info.
Well, or can it be?
I'll slide
can it be
I'll
relied
slide
upon
Chris
because
with
they're
him.
drunk?
Yeah.
It'll be something better than what we have.
Well, now we
I'll
know
s-
that it's a one-eyed sea elf. That's a
When
decent
I
tip.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
what's
a one-eyed
next?
wood elf.
We need to find out where it went, where the ship went.
Barkeep, will take a drink,
yeah.
whatever you got. How much is the bartender around somewhere?
Hey, I
I'd
mean,
be looking for the bartender.
there's
Like,
tavern
is there a
wenches
main
and
one?
bartenders. Yeah, there's like 3 people behind the bar. It's busy. They're helping each other.
Yeah, me and Skinny. Let's go. Me and
Yeah.
Skinny will walk up to the bar. Order. I'd like to ask. I mean, what do they sell here? I'd like to order some of the horse piss.
Yeah.
Your finest horse piss, sir.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, give me a minute here, and yeah, a few minutes later, you've got some wooden mugs of warm
Ugh.
ale in front
Nice.
of you.
Make sure it's
One
watered
German
down.
beer.
costs like 2 would cost what? Less than a gold. I'm
Well, I don't
assuming?
want to offend them, so I'll take a swig, and then. But as soon as I get it and pay them, how much does that cost? By the way, I'll take it out.
I'm not gonna pay attention to
Okay,
little
okay,
trivial
okay.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
so I'll put 2 gold down.
Yeah,
I'm
just
assuming
put a
it's
couple
more than
gold. It's
enough.
fine.
All right. Yeah. Throw a
Okay,
couple
then
of
I'll
gold on the table,
double
and
it. Whatever it
double.
is, double it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll throw extra. So if it's 2 gold, I'll give them 4. I'll take that out right now. I like to say,
Friend,
excuse me, fine sir. See you serve a lot of the sailor types. We're looking for a. Now, did I hear him just scream that out? By the way, about the one-eyed.
Yeah,
Did
there
I
was
hear that?
definitely
Okay.
Christmas.
Sound like it was loud.
Christmas was having that conversation. This guy was yelling at that guy. That guy was yelling at that
Right.
guy. They were all at the bar front. So that was happening with Christmas. You guys heard that for sure.
Okay.
And now you squeezed your way up into the bar.
Right.
Yeah. So have you seen a or know anything about a one-eyed sea elf? We're
By the way,
trying to-
before we go any further, is Brock with us?
Good question. Would you have
Mm,
brought him in?
in town, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably leave him with Moira.
All right.
He's familiar there, and people that come in there know him.
Okay.
He's the what do you call that mascot?
The guard bunny.
The
Yeah.
guard badger.
We're looking to get out of town. Maybe move a few things. And we heard there was a crazy sea elf captain that often came by here. A one-eyed guy. I don't know if you must have know who we're talking about.
It's crazy.
Got a
sea
ship.
elf.
Ship speckled. Well, I know they're all crazy, but I mean, this guy particularly stands out. He's got a ship, the speckled. I don't. Do you remember what it was? The speckled duck or the speckled
Albatross.
gull? Albatross. That's
Right.
it.
He's gonna shake his head. I've never heard of it, mate. He's gonna throw you.
Never
He's
heard
gonna
it.
slide his mug across the table to you, across the bar top
Wow,
to you.
thanks. Is there perhaps somebody else back there that might have heard of that?
You got a whole bar tavern full of folks here might have heard of it, mate. Good luck. And he's gonna
But
turn
you
around
guys
and
know
keep
better.
serving. I rolled a 5. He blew you off. Like
Yeah,
he's
so-
Yeah.
yeah. He's not having it.
All right.
Christma could buy her 2 friends there some booze, get them drunker, talking more.
You gonna buy them more ale?
Yeah.
Okay. You keep
Mm.
talking, asking questions. They don't have anything else to say to you. They just, as you buy them ale, they get a little drunker. Hey, thanks, lady. You're awfully pretty. Hey, you're. Wait a minute. My accent changed. It's because I haven't had enough to drink.
All the drink.
Exactly.
It's that kind of brew.
Is there anyone that's dressed kind of nice in here at all?
No, not at immediate glance.
Dang it!
Is
This
that
is a-
bad, huh?
This is a bust.
Um,
We go back to Lord Albatross and tell him sorry.
Oberon.
Yeah.
Unless we start using his name and his weight, I don't think we're gonna get any info.
I'd like to call out to one of the wenches running around.
Uh-huh.
Call to one of them like, hey, could we get some Some food over here.
Food. We've got fish sticks and cat eyes.
Yeah, cat eyes. It sounds quite delicious.
It's a delicacy around here.
Listen, I could slip some extra in here for you if you could give me any information about a one-eyed sea elf, one of the sailor types, probably visits this establishment.
All right, roll a 6.
right.
It's an intermediate roll for
What's
me.
good? What's
so
bad?
1 is good.
Highest-
6 is
One
That's
bad.
good. Come on, roll low, roll low. Oh,
All right.
there.
All right.
Finally.
That bastard owes me 75 gold for the other night.
Wow.
75 gold. What?
Dang. What would you do to him?
I tell you what, if you
What?
can help us,
I may
any
have helped him
information-
out with his other one-eyed problem. I
Oh. Companionship.
We could, I could squeeze that money out of him if you could help me.
I squeezed
locate.
a little bit more than that out of him. All right, so he owes her money. All right.
He's also cheating on his beloved that he's carting away.
Mm. Yeah, we got some.
Hang
dirt
on.
him.
No. That's the
Oh, right.
sailor.
Right.
The sailor that she ran off with is just a sailor on the ship.
That's right.
The
not
captain, when Chrisma
Oh.
went asking about the ship, the sailors just happened to mention something about the captain.
Gotcha.
So that's the trail we're following right now. Is the ship captain, a one-eyed. Matter of fact, I need to put this in my notes before I forget.
Do you know his name?
One-eyed.
One
sea
eye.
elf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something I didn't think about too is if Chris needs to roll a 6 to see if she's even ever heard of the guy, because sea elf captains probably aren't horribly common in this port. Roll a 6, Chris. Like maybe after you got drinking a little bit, we jostled your memory a little bit. Let's see.
Especially after she heard the description of him.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
There it is.
All right, yeah, that's good. So, she's gonna mention this wench is gonna mention, yeah, his name's Tarek, and when Chrisma hears the name Tarek, you're gonna go, oh, that's right, Tarek. I remember Tarek. He's actually not missing an eye, but he wears an eye patch to make people think that he's missing an eye, because he does have a scar, but he and his eye is kind of cloudy, but he can still see out of it, but he wears a patch for an
Looking for that.
intimidation factor.
Looking for that clout. that
So you've
pirate
at least heard of Tarek, the sea elf captain.
Hmm.
Any idea when he left?
3 days ago? Last time I saw him, and he ran out. Didn't pay.
Hmm.
How often?
bastard.
When do you think he'll be back? I can get your gold back.
You never know. Sometimes they're gone for 3 weeks. Sometimes they're gone for a month and a half. You never know.
While
Where
you were
was he going?
How do I know? He snuck out. Didn't pay.
Did he say anything while you were squeezing that might be of information help us find him?
Any words of
Nothing you want to hear, love.
oh,
Thanks for sparing me. Do you know anyone else we could talk to that might help us hunt this guy down for you?
Not off the top of my head, unless you think you can get the Church of the Elder Ways to get somebody to go after him for the money he owes me.
Probably not likely. All right. Well, thank you. You gave me more information, so I appreciate your time.
Well, I'll give you more than that if you want, love. Come back tonight after my shift.
I'll pay you 5 gold to pass, but thank you.
Okay, she's gonna hold out her hand.
All right, I want to deduct 5 gold.
She's not shy. 5 gold's 5 gold. She's done worse for 5 gold.
Yikes.
And this guy wants 1,000 gold for a little bit of information. Dang.
Well, it's a pretty big difference in, I would think, class.
A little difference between a sailor blowy and a
We gotta follow the dock master back home and squeeze him.
Well, I don't think you want to be squeezing them that way,
Well,
sir.
yeah, maybe a different kind of squeeze.
Different kind of squeezing.
I
If we
think
could-
it's him. He lives upstairs anyway, so it's a short trip.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
All right, so if you at least
was-
Oh,
be
that's a
the
good
case, I
guess.
you've
That's
at
a
least
good
find
guess,
out
yeah.
you've at least found out the ship was here 3 days ago. It's no longer in port. You found out the name of the captain, and his description, but that's all you've been able to find so far.
Well, the drunk workers told us that much yesterday.
Well, yeah, sorta. We
They
got a
said
little
2
bit
days
more.
ago that docked at the
Oh, they did say they
dock.
think it was. It was. It was. It wasn't as clear though. I feel like she's owed money. She's gonna remember better.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta go to Lord Oberon.
Okay.
While we're here, should we be checking with the shipping company about enough stuff to move?
Yeah,
to
it's a good
the,
good call. Yeah.
Yeah, since we're here.
uh,
All right, I guess we finish our drinks and
Cat eyes.
ew, no.
All right, so you make
Taking
your way out of the
notes.
Dented Cauldron and up north. By the time you make your way up to the Fuwar Trading Company, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They are starting to wind down and close their doors, but Chrisma is a known ship captain who works with the trading company. And as you approach, one of the men that you work with regularly, Christina, his name is Terrell Castell. He is one of the he was a captain at one point in time, but now he oversees the operations here at the new headquarters for the Fuwar Trading Company. He sees you coming and waves you over. Crispa, how goes it? How goes it? How are you today? What can I do for you?
I'm fine, thank you. Um, okay.
Básicamente
Mm,
estás buscando trabajo para ver si él tiene
sí, él tiene
cargamiento
alguna
para... Ujú.
yeah. Mm,
Can you
maybe
can you
I
maybe
can
ask them? Yeah, if they deal
ask
with
if
the speckled albatross.
Oh, that's a good line of questioning also. But there's two, so you could do, hay dos pájaros con
yeah.
un tiro aquí. Uno es si hay cargamiento para usted y el otro es si ellos
That,
conocen algo de la speckled albatross.
okay, okay. Yes, I'm here. I am checking if you have some, ¿cómo se dice?
Cargo, a shipment.
A shipment to transport
Let me look
my
here. Roll a 6, Chris.
six,
Because I rolled a
six.
3, so let's see. Let's see here. The best I could do. You were just here. We did what, about a month ago, I think. In about, let me see here. And he's gonna go through one of his books. He's flipping pages. It looks like 5 days. I think we've got a shipment of tobacco that we could ship out in 5 days. Does that work for you?
5 days. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, does that work for you? If that works for you, we'll get it over to your ship here in 5 days' time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get you loaded up. We've got tobacco and some.
And the other, mm, I the other question is if you have seen the speckled albatross.
Roll a 6.
Uh,
If you roll a 1 or a 2, he will have some information.
You can do it, Chrisma.
No.
mm,
Speckled albatross. I'm not familiar with that vessel. No, unfortunately, I've not heard of that before.
so in 5 days you will have some.
Yeah. My men will have the wagons at your ship first thing in the morning at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. in 5 days' time.
So with our rare
Okay.
skins and
Mm-hmm.
something else, we could.
Tobacco.
Oh, yeah,
Is there
we
anything else I
can-
can do for you, Captain Chris?
I don't know.
I mean,
Mm,
that's what you came for essentially, was to you've at least got cargo now, which will help hide um, the elves.
okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So I don't need to wait many days to.
No, I mean it could have been longer, but it could have been shorter too. But
Yeah.
that's what we rolled. So,
Okay.
in 5 days, you'll have a run.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Well, in 5 days' time, we'll see you. Until then, Captain Crispa, he's gonna shake your
Okay.
hand.
Okay.
He's
See
gonna look at his
you.
guys. Roll them up, boys. Close up the gates. They're gonna start to close the compound gates. Shut the doors for the night.
Okay.
Yeah, we either head back or the only thing I could think of is the people that load the ships, maybe.
Yeah, because they would have, depending on what they're doing in that ship, what they actually do.
If there's
Mm-hmm.
generic, workers that load and unload all the ships, they might know.
Because we at least know what dock he was on.
Mm-hmm.
So we could just go check there, see who loads the ships there, or
Well, technically, you already did that, and the dock workers just abused you for some free booze.
That's
Oh.
true.
A little bit of information.
Is it worth the dockmaster's aides trying to work with one of them or work one of them over? Do you
It's
think they would know any
it's
better?
it's closing time now, so they're not going to be open for you to. I mean,
No, follow them out
follow
of
them
there.
home or
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
divert them to a tavern.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That or I hate to say it, but I was also thinking our friend we made in the Dented Cauldron, or we could head over to the establishment south of the Laughing Badger and see if we can't hire someone to try to talk the information we need out of the dockmaster.
at the Pristine Paramore.
Yes.
Never know. Somebody at the Pristine
So we
Paramore
could get
might
someone
have
to seduce it out of them.
shipped
Or
Captain.
maybe one
the
of them
ship.
already has. It's
and
actually likely he probably does go there. Actually,
Well, you never know. I mean, he obviously enjoys a little bit of the riffraff from time to time at the tavern by the docks. I don't know if he's got the coin to afford the Pristine Paramore, but it is a known establishment where merchant captains hang out.
true.
if there's nothing else here, we could head back that way.
By the way, to be conscious of time, Skinny, I know you said was it just right at 10, no later than 10?
Yeah, like I mean, just whatever, just not hanging out after.
Okay, no worries. I
That's fine.
just
Yeah,
want
no
to be
worries.
conscious of time tonight. All right, so you're leaving here. Is the objective to go? Are we following the aid? Are we going back to the Pristine Paramore? What's the objective here?
Well, Skinny might want to follow the aid. I don't know why he wanted, like, you're not going to rough him up kind of thing. You were going to.
No, it would be try and get him to a tavern and just get him to talk. I mean, the other option is they could try and go in disguise tomorrow with the dockmaster, but I think asking about the same thing again will be too suspicious. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I was thinking just try and find where the aides, if they're walking by the tavern, and redirect them into there. So I can hang out with that if you guys want to try something else.
Where would you go if you were looking for a ship, like to get passage or want to have something shipped legally? Like, wouldn't there be some
If
public?
you want goods shipped, you'd go to the Fuwar Trading Company. That's one of the companies that operates commercial enterprises.
They may know something. They could be linked to the speckled albatross.
That's the problem.
Actually,
We don't
Well,
even know what it
it's a little
does.
late
Yeah.
today to go, but
But
No,
you
the
also
trading company didn't know anything.
Yeah, they didn't know anything, so maybe they're not shipping anything.
Terrell
did we
didn't
go?
know anything. Terrell is
Yeah.
one guy.
Right.
However, you also don't know. There's a lot of things you don't. You don't know what does the speckled albatross specialize in. Are they a cargo vessel?
Right.
Are they a transport ship for people? Do they only do sea elf vessels? Usually if it's captained by a sea elf. Chris is an exception because she's a new sea elf captain, so she has a human ship that you commandeered out of the docks in Parthona. But many sea elf captains are captaining a sea elf vessel. You don't even know if this is a sea elf vessel. Is it a human vessel? You haven't. There's a lot of stuff you don't know about the speckled albatross yet, because if it is a sea elven vessel, then it's likely transporting goods from across the Mad Sea, which isn't going to be something that anybody other than the Fuwar Trading Company will deal with, and that's going to be something that they may not. That's not necessarily going to be common knowledge that the guy at the front desk is going to know. So there's a lot of variables here that you just don't know yet.
that makes sense. So Skinny's gonna go try to see if he can't catch. I think the rest of us should probably just head back for the day. Maybe we can swing by the Paramore on our way back. See if we can't find out any information there.
I mean, if you're going back now, it's about 6 in the afternoon. You'll get there about 8. That's not a bad time. It's gonna just be starting to get clientele. It'll really get busy around midnight. The Paramore. Meanwhile,
What do you guys
Skinny,
think of that plan?
you're trying to shadow these guys. Are you picking one over the other? Or are you...
Picking one that is heading towards, like, in the direction of the Dented Cauldron.
Well, let's. I'm gonna roll a. I'm gonna give this a better percentile chance. I'm gonna roll it on a 20. If I roll a 15 or better, they're heading in the direction of the Dented Cauldron. Anything other than that, they're going in a different direction. They're in a different direction.
Okay. I guess whichever one looks less senior.
Okay, there's definitely a younger one.
Yeah, one
He's
will be younger than the
probably in
other,
his early 20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just start walking up to him. Hey, I saw you earlier in the with the dockmaster, right? You worked there with what was the dockmaster's name again? I forget.
I don't think we gave him his name. Yes. Do I know you?
Eh.
He's kind of gonna start to back away a little bit nervously.
Ah, sorry,
He's
dear
looking
sir.
around.
Just is quite the character. I was rather taken aback by his demeanor today. We just we're hoping to chat with him about a business venture we had going on, but
Uh-huh.
he just didn't seem to want any part of it.
Yeah, he doesn't do business ventures. I'm sorry. Can I help you with something?
No, I was just looking to talk. I figured you had a hard day there. I was gonna buy you a drink because I can only imagine what it's like dealing with someone like that day in, day out.
Roll a persuasion on the drink. I got a 2 here, so that's he's calming down a little bit, but let's see if you can actually persuade him to get a drink.
Nope.
Oh no,
I
no,
don't know.
no. Unfortunately, my wife is waiting for me. She's always got dinner and a drink on the table for me, so I appreciate the offer, friend, but I need to get going.
Fair enough.
Have a good
What
night.
time? What time does it usually open in the morning?
Usually we open the doors at 7 a.m.
Okay, that late, eh? Do you know, like, if I'd be able to catch him at home or catch him a little bit earlier than that?
He's a busy man. I can't tell you.
Nah.
Like, I only work for the
Alright.
guy, so
Is
good luck.
he? Oh, actually, I see the light on up there. Does he actually? Is that where he lives?
Yeah, above the office.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense, right? You might as well live close to where you work. It makes life easier.
Yeah, he's.
Hope you don't have a long walk.
Good night, sir. Yeah, thank you
Take
very
it
much.
easy.
Yeah.
Is he creeped out? I got
he's,
notes.
Yeah.
he's a little creeped out. Like this, who is this dude? Like I'm just trying to go home from work. Some rando on the street. Like, hey man, how's work?
That's hilarious when you try things in tabletop that would be totally cool in a video game, but in tabletop it becomes like, depending on the roles, it comes up so hilarious.
Okay. And it's
Nice try.
And there was no door, just the balcony. So the balcony was to his apartment, right? Pretty clearly.
Well, it's just a balcony above. I mean, there's no way of knowing.
Right.
All you know is that he lives
close.
above, which we suspected when you came by the first night because there were lights
Yeah,
on up top and there
Yeah.
was a couple guards inside, guards on the perimeter. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Skinny?
Yeah. I'm thinking there's really not a lot of hope of breaking in between guards and the cauldron facing the front door, which is gonna have people late. I doubt that would work. Yeah, I guess I'll hook up with these guys again and just chat about that.
All right, so you're gonna head back to the tavern.
Yeah, wherever they were.
Okay. Well, they went.
Yeah, I
they
don't
made their
think,
way to the pristine Paramore.
Yeah.
It's about 8 p.m. by the time you arrive. This is a very upscale establishment. As you make your way inside, they've got 3 different bards playing an amazing. Just it's these are professional musicians. As you enter an establishment, it smells like cherry pie and cinnamon, and it's just delectable food, drink, etc. You're familiar with this place. It's right across the street. Some of you may have been in here before. It's not cheap. It's great food. Everybody's very scantily clad. This is definitely a companionship place as you enter in. And
I wouldn't have gone there with them. I would have let them take care of it.
Okay, so you would have let them go by themselves.
Yeah.
So who's going to the pristine Paramore?
I'm going.
Maybe we should ask that question. Thamius is
I'm
going.
definitely going.
Bim's
Yeah.
going. Anybody else going?
I'm gonna turn in early.
So Bounty's
Right.
not going. Okay, so
Come on.
it's-
I mean, I was later, but I knew that's where they were going, right? So
right.
I guess I'll meet them there.
Okay, so basically it's Thamius and Bim. Chrisma.
Wait, Chrisma, is she
Are
coming?
you going? Yes or no? It's a brothel. I don't know if you want to
Having
go, but
having a
No.
female
like,
with us might help.
very expensive place.
Okay, I will stay with Galun and
Okay, so you're gonna go back to the
Bounty.
town. Okay, so it's just gonna be Thamius
Yeah.
and Bim.
Oh, that's
And
not
then
a good.
Skinny in soon after.
Maybe
That conversation didn't take that long.
No, it wouldn't have taken that long.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I don't
These
know that
conversations probably won't either.
I don't know that we gave the proprietor. I don't find it in my notes. I don't know that we gave the
Edgar.
proprietor. Did I give you a
Edgar, yeah.
name?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Edgar.
Edgar.
Edgar the
And I
Sleaze.
have Sleazy.
Okay, thank you. I didn't have that down in my notes.
Sir
It's
Edgar
sleazy
the Sleaze.
owner of Pristine. Okay. So as you walk in the door, Thamius and Bim, you're immediately greeted by a very dainty half elf offering you a couple of goblets of wine. Greetings, gentlemen. What can I do for you this fine evening?
What secretness was? Did you say wine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to approach this. uh, yes. We're new to town. We were
I
just
can tell.
we heard this was the establishment to come to, and to be honest with you, I don't know what you offer here.
Oh, you're a first timer. My. Daphne, Daphne. And she's going to call over her shoulder, and this little halfling's going to come over. Um, you've never seen a scantily clad halfling before. Um, she she is got a big smile on her face. Yes, what can I do for you, Lila? We have some newcomers, fresh in town, never been, never been. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Daphne's gonna laugh. Oh my! Welcome, gentlemen. And she's gonna look at Bim and go, who are you?
Tongue tied.
Aw. He's lost his tongue. Well, what can we do for you, gentlemen, tonight?
Um, we were hoping. We were hoping that you had someone. How do I say this politely? Well traveled with the sailor types, captains in particular.
So hang on, let me understand this question before I need to understand the question before we.
Okay.
Are you asking? You're asking if they have uh, uh, companionship for sea captains or companionship that is regular with sea captains?
Yes, is there a favorite? Is there a favorite amongst the sea captains?
Oh,
We'd like.
Daphne is. I am definitely a favorite with a certain type, if you know what I mean. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. This is the
All
halfling, by
right.
the way.
And do you do groups? As in, is it how does it work?
Do I do groups? My, what do you have in mind?
Jeez, so uncomfortable. We'd like. It's a private area, I would assume.
Oh, private
Oh,
areas are costly, sir, but for 250 gold, you can rent a room where everything you want can happen.
What if we weren't needing? What if we just wanted to talk?
Talk is boring. Come on
With
now.
information, maybe.
All right,
Oh.
Daphne, you seem like a lovely halfling lady.
Why, thank
So
you.
I will just be blunt.
Oh, sometimes they are.
we are looking for information, and we do have reason to believe that the man is sea elf named what was his name, Tillich.
Tarek.
Tarek,
Tarek.
Tarek, very likely visits this beautiful establishment, and you being so lovely, likely has come here for your services, and we're willing to pay if there's anything. We think he may have gotten a bit of trouble, and we're just trying to get some information on him.
Oh, Lila, look at him. He's so boring. He just wants to talk. Roll a 3. Roll a 6.
Oh no,
If you roll a 1 or a 2, maybe.
my poor little churchly paladin.
Ooh. Oh, Tarek, yes. He comes in once in a while, but he's kind of dirty. Like, he likes those, like, cheap girls across town. Occasionally he comes in here, but he doesn't really like the high-end stuff, if you know what I mean. But yeah, he was in here about a week ago. Why? Does he owe you money? He owes Edgar money.
He does owe a wench back at the dented tanker
Winch,
some
that's
money.
such a dirty term. You shouldn't use that term, Mr. Churchman.
I apologize. I am not well versed in the etiquettes of your profession. But that's one of the reasons we're seeking him. We're trying to. Edgar is the owner of this establishment, correct?
Indeed, Edgar is.
How much does he owe Edgar? We're willing to try to get the money back
Oh,
that
I
he
don't
owes.
know how much he owes Edgar, but I've heard Edgar cursing about him once in a while.
Hmm. Well,
Talk to Edgar.
is there? How busy is Edgar? Is he someone that
Oh,
we could
Edgar's very,
entertain?
very busy, my dear. You couldn't possibly get in to see him for, I don't know, less than 50 gold.
Think, guys.
Ren's trying to bleed us dry tonight.
I mean, we were given money specifically to help us.
That's fair. I'll split it with you tonight since
right.
I'm here with you.
All right,
We'll each
I'll throw
cough
in
up
25. Yeah, I'll throw up 25 then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Take
let's
that
do
out.
it.
All right. Come
Well,
this
just
way,
Make
gentlemen.
it a third. Make it a third, because I'll be there by then.
Yeah, I mean, you
That's
can
hard.
enter
That's
as
hard math.
this is
Yeah, I'll
happening,
get you back.
and that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll get you back.
Yeah. So come this way, gentlemen, and she's gonna escort you through the main room, past all the courtesans to down a salt hallway, and they're gonna get to a door. She's gonna tap on the door. You're gonna hear a guy from the inside. Yeah, what is it? Edgar, we've got some visitors. Visitors. All right, have them come on in. She's going to open the door, and you're going to enter into a smoke-filled chamber. And as you enter in, the guy behind the desk is pushing an elf away from his dead. Did anybody here seen Deadwood?
Mhm.
Think Sorensen, like not the Swearingen, the he's getting a little bit of action under the table as you walk in the door, and he's pushing her off, and he's pulling his pants up. What can I do for you?
Yes, Sir Edgar. I've heard that there's a Tarek fellow who owes your establishment some money. We're also after him, looking for him.
Tarek.
And yes,
What do you know? You seen that
Oh.
bastard recently?
we know that he left. Looks like he left port 3 days ago, and we're just hoping we can figure out either where he was off to or when he'll be back. And we'd be happy to take care of it. And if you can give us any information to help us get the guy.
What, does he owe you money too?
No, we've been hired out to for someone else he owes money to. Seems he's owes quite a bit of people in town some money. Caused trouble for himself.
Well, I don't know where he was off to. All I know is he's here about a week ago. He owes me about 500 gold.
Do you know anything?
He spent about 3 nights here. It's not. He owes me for the nights and the girls.
How much money did you say he owes you?
500 gold.
Okay, all right. Well, noted. How expensive it is here.
Yeah, we're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Well, do you know anything about his ship, the Speckled Albatross, or any of his crew members?
Do
or
I look like a
perhaps
sea captain to you?
No, indeed, you definitely do not. Well, we'd be glad to try to get the money he owes you back, at least as much of it as we can squeeze out of him. I was just hoping a man of your standing in town and running.
He's at the mention of helping him for no obvious reason. He's gonna narrow his eyes. He's getting real suspicious. Now, why would you want to help me? Out of the kindness of your heart? What's in it
No.
for you?
No, you'd be scratching our backs because we want to get to this guy and get some information out of him. But in the meantime, you give us information, we'll scratch yours and see if we can't get some of the money back that he owes you.
Not sure what information I can give you. He was here a week ago. He left. I don't know when he's going to be back. He usually comes in about once or twice a month, but it's not always the same.
That's something. So it's pretty short.
Y'all are a
trip
bunch of unknowing village. Like nobody knows crap in this town.
Yeah.
God.
Well, the boat's obviously here quite often. If he's here once or twice a month, then
Yeah.
And nobody knows the boat.
Yeah.
That's
Can do.
true. So at least we know that within a week and a half, 2 weeks max, he'll be back.
More than likely. I mean, if he's coming in regularly on a regular basis, could be 2 to 3 weeks, but
Except he owes people money this time. Hey, ask Edgar if he's owed him money before.
Yeah.
Is Bim gonna ask or just ask? I mean,
No, I'll ask.
Here.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're here.
yeah. Yeah. So has this guy owed you money before, or
That's
just
not the first time, but he
do you
usually
just let him
pays
back?
up. No, he usually pays up, but
Oh,
this
okay.
time he's slipped twice now. He came back and only paid about a third of his tab last time, stayed for a few days and made off and didn't pay the rest.
How do we get into such of a relationship as to where we don't have to pay?
Yeah,
You'd have to
kind of
become regular
surprised.
clients, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess if he pays eventually, he lets him come back. All right.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you know if you get many others off his ship around in here or no? I'm assuming they tend to stay closer to the docks.
Yeah, those type of folk can't really afford the services rendered here, sir.
That's what I assumed.
I only have the best, and he's gonna pat the head of the little half elf that was gonna twirl his mustache.
Scratching
Is
his
there
back.
anything else I can do for you?
guess not.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, feel
Not
free
tonight, anyway.
to enjoy the establishment. Coin up front, of course.
It sounds like a wise idea with this guy running around.
Good evening, gentlemen. He's
All
gonna
right.
motion you to the door.
All right.
Yeah.
Guess
Hmm.
we're gonna head out.
Yeah, there's nothing else. I
Okay.
think he's gonna need anything else.
Well, that is a good stopping point for the session since we're right at 10 p.m.
Terrible stopping point. We don't know anything.
Well, you found the name of the
Well,
ship captain. So here,
and
this
we
is
know
a
he'll be
this is
back.
a ship. This
So
is a port town, port city. There are dozens of vessels that come in every single day. There could be 50 to 100 ships that come through
Very true.
every couple of days. Trying to nail down one ship out of hundreds of ships that
That's very true.
sail
Yeah.
through on a regular basis is not it's not like, oh yeah, the sparkling albatross, we all know of that one-eyed
Yeah.
captain, like
Plus, that's why we're getting paid the big bucks.
right, it's you got to go beat some bushes and find some information. But you did find out the name of the captain, the fact that he wears an eye patch to hide his milky eye, but that he can actually see out of it. Um, he comes in at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. So he's either going to be back in 2 weeks or he might be back in a month because he's been gone for at least 3 days. So it's going to be at least 2 weeks until he might be back. But you also got confirmation that you can have a shipment of tobacco and other goods from the Fuhrer Shipping Company in 5 days' time to help mask the transport of your two injured elves. So
That's true.
um,
Okay, so when you put it that way, it doesn't sound so
no, you
bad.
accomplished quite a lot tonight.
Yeah.
You just didn't make a lot of headway in finding your speckled albatross.
Oh, and we had a meeting with the Underground Railroad people.
Yes, and you met with Einfar.
Yeah,
So
I
those meetings happen around once every couple of weeks, unless there's a need for them to happen more frequently. Um, Obviously, they're going to be staying downstairs now. We got to figure out what to do with them for 5 days. Are they staying down in the cellars in the caves? That'll be something we approach next week. Are they going to stay in the caves for 5 days? Are we going to give them a room at the inn for 5 days? What are we doing with them for the next 5 days? And then can we or do we even want to get other goods for the ship? Food for thought. Thanks to everyone for tuning in tonight. As always, if you caught this live, epic. If you didn't, it'll be up on Wednesday at 11 a.m. over on the Weaving the Void YouTube channel. Follow along here because we've got multiple things happening on Twitch now. Sunday nights is this. Monday afternoons is map making in Incarnate, and Thursday afternoons is the new podcast, the first episode of which just happened this past Thursday. Nathan and I will be back again this upcoming Thursday with a new topic and beyond. Don't forget the multi streams. Links to everybody's YouTube stuff is down below. This week is kicking off a big new thing because Wrath of the Lich King is launching, which means there's going to be a lot of new stuff happening, a lot of new streams happening. So make sure to check out everybody's channels in between there. With all the maps being made right now in Incarnate, this map as an example that's being worked on, or this Forkland map that we already have and the other maps are part of the upcoming map pack. And if you are a Dungeon Master subscriber on the Patreon page, you get access to these map packs as part of your subscription. So check that out. Don't forget you can get a hold of a copy of our source book and beyond over at the Patreon or over at weaveandvoid.com. Check that out. But yeah, I think that's the end of tonight's session. So I'll let everybody do a roundtable good evening as we wrap up here.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Yep. Good night, all.
Good night, everyone.